Mediterranean province of Alicante, a popular tourist hub on Spain's eastern coast, was placed on high alert as Storm Alice unleashed torrential rains and high winds in early October 2025. This latest bout of extreme weather caused widespread flooding, forcing emergency services into action and bringing back painful memories of recent catastrophic disasters in the nearby Valencia region. Spain's state meteorological agency, AEMET, issued a rare red alert for heavy rain in parts of Alicante and neighboring Murcia, signaling extraordinary danger. The storm, identified as a Dana Depression Aislada en Niveles Altos, or isolated depression at high altitude, brought with it intense, persistent rainfall. While the worst of the storm was initially predicted for Friday, October 10th, the region had already been experiencing significant flooding and disruption from the previous day. Rainfall totals were significant, with some areas receiving nearly 100 liters per square meter in just 12 hours. This deluge quickly overwhelmed drainage systems, turning streets into raging rivers and submerging cars. The Alicante Fire Service reported 31 emergency operations on Friday alone, rescuing stranded individuals and clearing inundated roads. As floodwaters rose, emergency services were stretched thin. Evacuations were reported in several locations, including the tourist-heavy camping area at La Manga in the Murcia region, and in the Alicante town of Pilar de la Horadada, where 72 people had to be moved to safety. The regional government of Murcia issued an appeal for aid from Spain's military emergency unit, highlighting the severity of the situation. Dramatic footage captured the chaos, showing emergency workers rescuing people from vehicles trapped in floodwaters. The situation was further compounded by a red alert for the southern coastal and pre-coastal areas of Tarragona on Monday, September 9, 2025, where winds reached 100 kilometers per hour and caused flash floods. Travel disruptions and tourist warnings. The storm caused significant disruption to travel, both locally and for international visitors. Several flights bound for Alicante-Elche airport were diverted, and flights in both Alicante and Murcia airports were delayed. Commuter train services also experienced delays. The UK's Foreign Office issued a travel warning for Brits, advising them of the severe weather conditions and urging them to follow local authorities' advice. The events of October 2025 are part of a pattern of increasing extreme weather affecting the region, often caused by the Dana phenomenon. The storms are fueled by the temperature difference between cold air high in the atmosphere and the warm Mediterranean waters, creating powerful, rain-laden clouds. Just a year prior, the nearby Valencia region suffered catastrophic and deadly floods, which left over 200 people dead. The experience has heightened public and official anxiety during subsequent severe weather events. A similar storm brought record rainfall to Alicante, with over 137 millimeters falling in 24 hours. The rainfall, nearly half the yearly average, caused widespread flooding, blocked roads, and required emergency rescues. While the Dana in October 2025 was a severe event, it did not reach the catastrophic levels of destruction and loss of life experienced in the Valencia floods of 2024. The proximity in time to the 2024 tragedy, however, likely contributed to the swift and extensive alert systems and emergency response seen in 2025. The storms that have repeatedly struck the Alicante region demonstrate the growing vulnerability of Spain's coastal areas to extreme weather events, a trend climate scientists link to climate change. The recent incidents, particularly Storm Alice in October 2025, highlight the critical need for continued vigilance and robust infrastructure to mitigate the devastating impact of these powerful storms on both residents and the country's vital tourism industry. With warnings downgraded but rain expected to continue, residents and authorities remain on high alert. Eastern Spain, particularly the provinces of Alicante and Murcia, has been battered by Storm Alice, an intense Dana Depression Aislada en Niveles Altos. weather system that prompted a rare red alert and triggered widespread flash flooding in early October 2025. The torrential downpours brought back painful memories of the catastrophic floods that devastated the nearby Valencia region just a year prior, causing authorities and residents to brace for the worst. The storm has led to significant transport chaos, forced evacuations, and put emergency services under immense pressure. On Thursday, October 9th, Spain's state meteorological agency, AEMET, issued its highest-level weather warning for parts of the Costa Blanca and Murcia region, signaling extraordinary danger. The red alert was in effect from 10 a.m. until midnight on Friday, October 10th, as the storm delivered its most intense rainfall. AEMET explicitly warned of the high probability of flash floods and advised the public to follow the instructions of civil protection. The Dana phenomenon behind Storm Alice is a meteorological event caused by a pocket of cold air high in the atmosphere breaking off from the jet stream and settling over warmer Mediterranean waters. This creates immense instability, fueling powerful thunderstorms that can dump months' worth of rain in a very short period. For Alicante and Murcia, this meant facing up to 180 liters of rain per square meter in just 12 hours during the peak of the storm. The sheer volume of rain was immediately felt across the affected provinces. On Thursday, Alicante City and its surroundings saw intense downpours that caused significant flooding, a precursor to the main event on Friday. In the city of Elche, a 20-minute deluge was enough to flood streets and sweep away cars and rubbish containers. Viral videos circulated showing muddy torrents of water surging through streets typically bustling with tourists, with vehicles lifted off the ground and swept into huge pools. The neighboring Murcia region also bore the brunt of the storm. In just 12 hours, some areas in the Vega del Segura region, which borders Alicante, received over 100 liters of rain per square meter. The city of Murcia experienced significant flooding, leading to evacuations. The caravanning campsite in La Manga was among the sites that had to be evacuated, with holidaymakers forced to flee as the heavy rain swamped the area. Emergency services across the region were put on high alert and faced a relentless series of calls. In Alicante, the fire service reported carrying out 31 emergency operations in a single day, which included rescuing stranded individuals and clearing debris from waterlogged roads. Emergency teams in Murcia recorded 142 incidents on Friday morning alone. The situation was particularly grave in flood-prone areas. In Murcia, authorities had to evacuate at least 35 residents from areas considered most at risk. The regional government of Murcia even requested support from Spain's military emergency unit, a testament to the severity of the crisis. The prompt response, amplified by the lessons learned from the previous year's disaster in Valencia, likely helped mitigate the potential for a larger-scale tragedy. Storm Alice caused widespread travel disruption, affecting both local commuters and international travelers. Alicante-Elche Airport experienced significant chaos, with several flights diverted and others outright cancelled. Similar disruptions and delays were reported at Murcia Airport. On the roads, numerous closures and delays were reported, and in some areas, authorities urged residents to stay home and avoid unnecessary travel. The UK's Foreign Office and other international agencies issued travel advisories, warning of the severe weather conditions and advising tourists to monitor local weather updates and follow the guidance of local authorities. This was a crucial measure, given that the storm hit during a busy holiday period for many international visitors.